I'm going to kind of surprise you here with this.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles.
So, you know who that was, right? Ed Sullivan.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now you weren't around to hear him. I was
No.
little. I was 5 years old in 1964 when they were live on the Ed Sullivan Show. I barely remember that, so I know you don't remember it at all.
Well, it sounds like a mania.
Yeah, it was,
They were
right?
pretty going crazy.
Yeah, Beatlemania hit the U.S. in '64, and oh my gosh, everybody was crazy for the Beatles. 60 years later now, I want to talk about the challenges that are facing the Beatlemania boomers. What would you say is going on with the late baby boomers?
You're right, Luann. I mean, your 40s are typically your peak earning years. But due to the financial crisis in 2008, those who were in their 40s probably remember 2008, very closely because they remember all the pain and suffering they had to go through. Many people lost their jobs. Many people had pay cuts or weren't able to save as much. Plus, their retirement accounts sometimes were dropped in half. I mean, they went from 401ks to 201ks. So some people who are close to retirement now haven't been able to fully recover financially from that setback in 2008. And here we are where the market is back up to all-time highs. And it makes you wonder, like, if we had another 2008, would families be ready who were in their 40s still working throughout that financial crisis? But when you get to another financial crisis in your 60s, you don't have the time to recover. Like many times clients said, well, I lived through 2008. It was fine. I lost a lot of money, but I let it stay where it was and it came back. Well, that's because you were working in your 40s. But now that you're in your 60s, and if we have another financial crisis, that could mean completely different things to how your retirement goals will end up, because you might have to change your retirement goals after you have a 401k that turns into a 201k in the late 2020s.
Right. Okay. So, yeah, a lot of people, a lot of my age group, weren't able to save a lot back then in 2008. So, we're kind of behind the ball from the previous generation before us when they were, in their 40s. So, all right. We're just talking today about what baby boomers can do to kind of catch up, and you are here every single weekend, Andrew, to help this group of people and to tell them let's get together and see what we can do. Let's check out your retirement plan, see what you have going. So tell us about that sleep study.
Absolutely. I mean, these are my people. So I day in and day out work with retirees. Could I do great work for someone in their 20s and 30s trying to open up their Roth IRA? Absolutely. But that's not who I specialize in working with. And it's so important to work with someone that specializes and just has a bold proclamation that we only work with retirees. And the reason why is because you don't want to go to a specialist, a heart surgeon that, does heart surgeries on Monday, but on Tuesdays, they start to do ear surgeries or they start to do foot surgeries on Wednesdays. No, you want someone that specializes in seeing the same situation over and over again. And that's why we have our retirement sleep study. Swan Capital stands for our goal of helping families sleep well at night. And so when we run a sleep study for a family, we're showing them basically what we've helped thousands of families, counseling them on how to have a better tax plan for retirement, how to have a better estate plan and legacy plan for their retirement and their loved ones. And we're taking all of these best practices of seeing the same situation over and over again, and we're utilizing that advice to help you look around the corner so that you don't make some of the mistakes and go through the trial and error that some of the families that we've met have had to go through. And so you can take us up on this 1-hour complimentary visit to make sure that you're retirement ready by calling 1-800-848-8768. That's 1-800-848-8768.
And the other thing you can do is head to their website, swan with a dash capital.com. They have some great resources there on their website. It's a really good website, and you can find out even more about Andrew and his awesome team, okay? And they would love to help you out at Swan Capital. I'm Luann Fulmer. Thank you for joining us today. This is What Your Money Would Say.